TCED tax.
Well, that's what I'm talking
50%
about.
of that.
That's what I'm saying is we would be like what we do with Branson Hills or Branson Landing, like half of that is going to the TIFs. Which the good news is that they're about done and we'll get some new money to market Branson. That's the good
And
news.
there's no revenue being generated in the proposed TIF on the empty land, so we'll still get half of.
Yeah.
Still get half of what's generated.
Right.
But you're
Something that we're
making,
not getting now.
but you're making the assumption it's all new revenue. May not be.
There's
So
still
it
in
is.
there.
Well, let's use let me use the hotel example. Okay, so if they stayed at another hotel in town, you might get 100%. If they shifted to a hotel in the TIF, then you don't. That's what I'm talking about is like it's not 100% incremental new business if something like that happened. You have to understand that. See what I'm saying, Alex?
Yeah, I also agree that it doesn't exist, and one could say economic development coming from new industry that's not existent. So you could acknowledge that the existing still gets its clientele, but new market drivers are existent that would add to the collective whole of the community. It's a matter of philosophy.
The main thing there is not a hotel, it's a sports complex, which is going to, everybody's going to benefit from that, so.
Yeah, but it's not just a sports complex. They have convenience store. I mean, they have other stuff besides the sports stuff.
If somebody wants to put in a new convenience store, I'm not gonna get upset about that, or if they want to put in another retail store or whatever, I mean, that somebody builds a hotel outside the TIF district, why not? I mean, they're paying more taxes there. Whoever's there, they're paying more taxes than somebody outside the district.
Why do you say that?
Well, there's, I mean, it's revenue only, so the only thing is the 1% tax or any sales tax there, 50% would go towards the TIF. It's only on new revenue. Until it's all collected. And I think the other thing too, I've heard is the amount, and there's more that's gonna come out. I know the chamber is gonna get involved in this. Is that right, Dan?
Involved in what way?
Mark, the information of this project.
We've allowed, them to come to our King County Partnership Board and update. They're gonna come to our board and give an update. So we're trying to help present a platform for them to share the facts.
Yeah.
And educate the community, which is important because there's a lot of misconceptions about tips and different things. So, giving them a platform to share the factual information is, I think, important. So we can make good decisions.
So I guess I'm gonna come back to this proposed budget. The reality is it's probably not gonna affect next year's budget.
Probably not.
So, and we've already accounted for taking out the Branson the Branson Landing TIF.
I'll double check the TIF dates, make sure that is a January expiration of next year.
The Chiefs contract, the 725 is if it would be renewed for the 26th season.
Which begins April 1st of 26.
Right. And so from a board perspective, the TCED board has until really some date in January to make that determination. So if that got changed or tweaked, that number could go up for just general marketing. Just so y'all know.
What about it's not that material, but the TIF for the railroad on the way here.
Oh, the Stone County TIF,
When's that expire?
2030.
When's that? Okay.
And that expense is growing because Stone County's revenues are high.
Yeah.
Angela, the revenues for EBT and grant, did you chat with the CEB before on this? Do they feel comfortable with those numbers?
350 is the maximum they're allowed. This year, 350,000 is the max grant for the coming year. I think that's the number I was given. So yeah, I'm comfortable with those, and I think the other EDT revenues, let's see if they're gonna decrease. It's been the number for quite a while, so they're meeting it.
And just a reminder, this is a preliminary number, just so that the CVB can get started from a budgeting perspective for next year. There's always the potential to tweak it some, but at the end of the day, we try to get pretty close and stay close to that.
They'll be thrilled if we have to increase it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that,
Never bad.
that is expiring. I mean, 600,000 be
That helps.
a nice bump.
Yeah.
So last year we raised about 2.5%. Does that sound right?
And then,
Yes. And then this year we budgeted for a 3% increase for 2025.
and the time frame on that, is it August that we have to come up with our preliminary or right now?
Right
Well, that's-
now.
Right now is when we come up with it. Now, I think we revisit it later in the year. But they're supposed to have a preliminary budget and marketing plan by August 1st. That's why we're doing it.
So we basically have to decide 0, 3, or 5,
Or any other number.
or any
you wish
other
to
number.
pick.
Yeah.
You can see she's got you're looking at 707, almost 735 or 79. I mean, so you could pick any number in between that if you wanted to, right? Yeah.
Seems like, if we said 3%, that'd be conservative, knowing that there may be 600,000 additional. That's not in here.
Yeah, I think we have
That
to, I
is
think
a-
we have to have the thought process though without that
Yeah,
first, right? Like, what do we think that our the increase is gonna be just in general?
yeah.
That's probably the biggest question. Flat, 3%, I don't think 5% is probably gonna get anybody real excited, but I think 2.5 is a pretty good number personally.
I do show on Google, according to the AI overviews, that the Branson Hills TIF started in 2000.
It's 20, I believe it is 27.
And then let's see what like Branson Lane still is. Branson Landing started in 2002 and later was amended in 2005 if Google is right. So we'll need to double, but she's already baked that she's already taken that out of these numbers.
Yeah.
So I think what you would do is you would make a motion at whatever amount and say for her to go back and check that. And if it's not this next year, you just bump it up by whatever that number is.
Yeah, it's whatever, the 3% is 3%, right? I think that's what we need to decide.
I think the other thing too is if we're revenues project, we were off, if revenues come in a lot more, we can always modify our budget and come up with money to go to market, so. Yeah,
That's the hard part, yeah.
1 year, we done 1 year, 24.
So someone want to make a motion?
Make a motion, we do 2.5%.
So
So there's a motion and a second to do 2.5% increase. More discussion. Okay, all those in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, ayes have it. Next item, review RFP for audit services.
Hold the last RFP for audit services and change the dates. We don't have any additional activities that need to be audited. Everything is pretty much the same in what we do. And so we need to decide when we would be advertising the RFP and when the bids will be.
So this is for 4 years. I'm looking at that correctly. That's what our last RFP was for.
Budget years of 25, 6, 7, and 8. Tentative dates in page 5. Due on August 22nd. Evaluated by September 25th by the board. This is in line with what was done before.
Sounds good to me. I don't know. I mean, I don't have a huge opinion on when it has to be in, but
Have to have an audit.
I mean, yeah.
How long has KPM done it? They've done
For a
it,
long time,
I mean,
at least.
it was,
Three
it used to
cycles.
be somebody
It
else,
was,
but they were acquired by KPM.
Davis, Lynn, and Moots, and they were
And
bought
then
by.
before that, it was, at one time,
So
was it Abacus?
I'm sure you do.
Abacus did it at one time,
It's been a
a while back.
Oh, wow. Yeah, good stuff for a while.
Okay, someone want to make a motion? The motion, we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second to approve this RFP for audit services. Any other discussion? Not all those in favor, say aye. Those opposed? Okay, next item is announcements and public comment. City Mary.
Well, thank you all. Chris, thanks for explaining everything. And I just wanted to come and thank you all for being such a good committee and all the work that we've done and encourage you to continue doing what you're doing. And also, it's July almost, and I'd like for the board for the TCD, the FOC, and everybody to take a look at. There's about $120,000 in the budget allotted for Opportunity Fund that's not been spent this year. So I think we might want to apply it to something in the marketing plan. And thank you all very much.
Thanks.
Any other public comment? Announcements? All right. I'm gonna get you out of here in under an hour. Cindy, you did.
Not as good as me.
Nice, good, Cindy. We had a
You
lot
gotta
on
love the
agenda.
competitive spirit.
We got a lot on the agenda. The next meeting will be somewhere else, is that correct?
We will be at Branson Bank in July.
Going to see Greg's place.
Yeah, we'll check with-
So we've been out here for a while, and so I think those locations will change, so just be aware of that for the next meeting. And so just need, I guess, a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah.